Well, let's talk competition. And I think it's the lifeblood of our capitalistic society, but this is not about money. This is about relationship. Men understand you have to compete. And sometimes that competition looks differently, right? For women, you're looking on the from the outside in. Men, when we show up to compete for, a woman's attention and affection, a lot of that competition is years in the making. Right? I've been competing all my life for where I am now, for what it took for me to be well traveled, charming, right, articulate, well read. All these things I've constantly had to work on. So now when we're both competing for the same woman, I don't try to outspend the guy. There's always a with a better bank account or that's taller. But when I bow out and just say, "Oh, there's a competition going on," okay, if what I brought wasn't enough, then it's not enough. It's fine. That's not for me. That's how we compete, right? That's how we should compete. Not that we should be out here in the streets trying to go to blows over a woman. Don't do that, man. Absolutely don't do that. But let's flip the coin, right? Because I want to talk about it from the woman's point of view. What happens when you find him, right? The illustrious him, the goat, right? Himothy, born on the top of Himalayas, walked himself down as a child and presented himself, struggled in society and finally made himself him. He's here in front of you. You're sitting across from him on a date and you can't stop talking about your ex or that you like to travel, you like to do this because you don't have any other game. There's no other gear to kick it up to. There's no octane, there's no nitrous, there's no turbocharger spool up, there's nothing because you never had to compete. You've never had to say, listen, this is how I set myself up outside. Your value is in the things that you've accomplished. Society has told you that's exactly where your value is. Men should value value. You don't know what's important to him. You don't know really what's important to most men outside of what they've told you. All men are dogs. All men think about is one thing. Cool. Now you're sitting across from someone that's not kind of led by his lust. He's got that in check. He's weaponized it. He can turn it on and off. He can use it to fuel himself to higher heights. You don't know what to do now. Again, I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying you may, if you find yourself in front of this guy, we're going from 20% to 10% to 5% man, you somehow find yourself in front of this man, or this is the type of men in your orbit. You know you have to show yourself. You have to be better. Let's link this to another conversation that people have been having about weight. Weight's important, right? Because not just because of a physical standard, but it kind of shows where your priorities in your own life is. How do you take care of yourself is how you're going to show up for someone else. You are bigger because you're making poor decisions in terms of food choices. Yeah, your lifestyle may not mesh with his. So if you find yourself in front of that or a chance with that guy, but you haven't done some of that work because there's a myriad of reasons, there's a myriad of excuses, more excuses than I've seen reasons that you're not in fighting shape, well, then you don't get a chance to step in the ring. And what you're left with is what you're left with, what you've been around. It's the same thing you've been constantly complaining about. So when you have a shot at the guy that you actually want, are you ready to compete? Because make no mistake about it, you're going to have to compete. If he meets your exacting standards, chances are he meets a bunch of other women's exacting standards. Access now. It's all about access and he has it. That's the person you want. If you don't want to compete, that's fine. You don't, by no means do you have to. No one's forcing you. You can bow out gracefully like the rest of us. Hey, that's not for me. But if you sit back and believe what's for you is going to find you and won't pass you, I'm here to tell you it's going to pass you. If that's what you want, it's going to pass you. If you're not what that person wants, that man wants, Himothy, if you're not what Himothy wants, what's left? The same things you've been complaining about for years. And the same things we hear about and say, cool, and understand. I'm not here to change a woman's mind and say, you shouldn't want what you want. I'm just here to say, realistically, if you're in front of what you want, are you woman enough to obtain it, to get it? You let me know in the comments.